Good morning, everybody. Mr. Thrasher here, and I am in Jacksonville, Florida, because I am visiting the gravesites to one of my favorite bands, LYNYRD SKYNYRD, pronounced LYNYRD SKYNYRD. It's the very first album, pronounced LYNYRD SKYNYRD. Second helping, Nothing Fancy, Give Me Back My Bullets, and Street Survivors. First 5 original albums of the 70s here. And we're going to be visiting the gravesites of Gary Rossington, Billy Powell, Leon Wilkeson, LYNYRD SKYNYRD. So join me here in Jacksonville, Florida. Let's go. Alright, so here we go. LYNYRD SKYNYRD fans. I am one of the biggest, and I've seen many people cover these memorials before. That unfaithful day in 1977 in Mississippi. So, original vocalist right here, Ronnie Van Zant. The first 5 albums was on the Street Survivors tour, an album that basically went gold within the first 10 days after its release. It was not far at all into the tour. They took off on a plane that was offered to Aerosmith originally, ended up as LYNYRD SKYNYRD's plane, and low on fuel, they crashed into a swamp in Mississippi. Ronnie was ejected into a tree and lost his life instantly. And then his brother Johnny Van Zant, carried the torch as vocalist for the band. So, Street Survivors had just been released. Steve Gaines, who joined the band, the album before, I think. He joined up after Give Me Back My Bullets. So I think Street Survivors was the only album he played on. But wrote some of those amazing songs. Steve Gaines also died in the plane crash. He had only joined up not long before that. So there it is. October 20th, 1977. 6 people were killed total. These 2 band members, original vocalist Steve, costume mistress Cassie LaRue, also died that day. The last songs that Steve and Ronnie wrote together was one of my favorites, You Got That Right. They're pretty excited to get out on the road and play that. Some beer, other things left for Ronnie here. I'm gonna leave him a cigarette. Didn't have any Jack Daniels, some old poison whiskey to leave, but I keep it under the palm tree. Some Marlboro Red, some Get Soaked. Love you, Ronnie. Ronnie was a fighter. He loved to start fights. He loved to have a good bar fight. Call Me the Breeze, I Ain't the One. So many good Skinner tunes. Poison Whiskey, as I said. Tuesday's Gone. I'm not going to name the most obvious ones, you know, Simple Man, Free Bird, Sweet Home Alabama. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows those tracks, but That Smell, What's Your Name, those were on the Street Survivors album that had just come out this year. Just mere weeks. Already hitting gold within its first 10 days. Then it went double platinum. They were too good. They were too good. Being the greatest Southern rock band of all time. World-class pioneers in the music world. So many forms of music would not exist today without them, including country. Well, most forms of country, I think. But rest in peace, Ronnie Van Zant. You'd have been a good guy to have on your side in a bar fight. Give me back my bullets. Another one of my favorite albums, Give Me Back My Bullets. But yeah, very cool to visit Steve here. His guitar work on the Street Survivors album is incredible. At least he'll go down in history forever. I'm gonna try to find the other guys in SKYNYRD as well. And Steve Gaines actually, well, a couple albums in, they had another guitarist, Ed King, who's also passed on now. But he left the band on the road. There was a dispute amongst them, and he left while they were on the road. And then they did another album, Give Me Back My Bullets, and then Steve joined the band for Street Survivors. The lizards in here. All these little lizards. Hey, buddy. Book there. New Testament. So, LYNYRD SKYNYRD continued. Gary Rossington, Alan Collins, Billy Powell, Leon Wilkeson, they all survived the crash. In fact, the drummer at the time, drummer was generally on the first 5 albums the only member that would switch up. And he had swam into the swamp, and somebody, thinking he was an escaped prisoner, shot a bullet over his head.
Please speak a word when you're full of blues. Say you'll be alright come tomorrow, but tomorrow might not be here for you.
Gaines' mom only passed in 2016, loving wife and mother. Guy was gonna be a star. Also played on tracks like, he said he was, you know, guitarist on tracks with Gary Rossington. Tracks like What's Your Name, That Smell, I Know a Little, it's a great tune. Georgia Peaches. You got that right. Definitely my favorite song that Steve and Ronnie wrote together. You got that right. Rest in peace, Ronnie. Huge SKYNYRD fan, so really awesome to come and finally pay my respects. Been waiting a long time. Oh, this lizard just keeps popping back out at me. Hey, buddy. You appreciate that I've come to pay my respects to the man, huh? The Southern King. Jacksonville Kid. Ronnie Van Zant. Cool lizard. Don't smoke that cigarette that I left for him. Don't you smoke that cigarette. It's Ronnie's smoke. 15 minutes away from where Ronnie and Steve Gaines are, and we're gonna visit Billy Powell, we're gonna visit Leon Wilkeson, and Gary Rossington, who doesn't yet have a marker since he was the last one to pass just last year, 2023, so. Here's the Eternal Flame. Right over here, we have Mr. Bassman, Leon Wilkeson. Leon Russell, 1952 to 2001, he survived the plane crash. The legendary Bassman. Man, he was cool. And he passed at only 49 years of age. Only 49 years of age. He was dealing with a DUI charge, and he passed away in his hotel. But he was still playing with the band. I have a live DVD when him and Billy Powell, the keyboardists, were still in LYNYRD SKYNYRD, with Ronnie's brother Johnny singing, and Gary Rossington. So still, many of the members of SKYNYRD still alive, up until about 2001 when Leon passed. That is beautiful. Leon Wilkeson. Fly on, proud bird, you're free at last. He's as free as a bird now. That's all the free bird quoting I'm gonna do. There he is. That legendary top hat. I didn't mention when we were at Ronnie's, actually, but he was buried with his legendary black hat and his fishing rod. So I wonder if they buried Leon Russell with his classic top hat as well. Always rocking that bass upright. It's just the way he liked to play. Wore his strap really high. Awesome. And some elements here. It's going to be a rainy one today. I'm not going to let the rain stop me. I can't just come back anytime, you know. I don't live anywhere close to here, so a little rain, a little time with Lynyrd Skynyrd. Left a vape in there. Pronounced LYNYRD SKYNYRD. Love you, man. It's good to pay my respects to Leon. Bassman. There's some more Van Zants over here, but it's not Ronnie. A marker just across from Leon. Wilkeson is the greatest piano and keyboard player of our times. Memorial, Billy Powell. June 3rd, 1952 to January 28, 2009. Died at home of natural causes, heart attack. Yeah, not natural causes, died of a heart attack, but years of rockin'. Survived the plane crash and played for many, many more years. Nobody played better than him, and he played it pretty. He's the one behind the sound, you know. Freebird, Tuesday's Gone, the piano in Sweet Home Alabama, that's all Billy, man. I Ain't the One. So many good Skynyrd songs. Piano ones. I Know a Little. It's a good piano playing on I Know a Little. He's always there, man. Always doing the keyboard in the background. Billy Powell. Man, he was good. And yeah, he went to 2009, so he lived a pretty good life considering, you know, being on all the original albums and surviving the plane crash. As Ronnie would say, Billy Powell on a piano. Billy Powell. Greatest keyboardist ever. And so Gary Rossington is actually buried right here. He only just died last year. Final Skynyrd member, final surviving member. We know him as the lead guitarist and the only constant guitarist the band always had since its beginning. With Alan Collins dying in 1990 from pneumonia. He is buried here somewhere, but the family keeps it pretty private. They request to keep it private even that many years, you know, even 35 years after his death, they still keep it private. Billy Powell's got a gorgeous setup here. I love it. He's as free as a bird now. Working for MCA. Roll, Gypsy, roll. One of my favorite Skynyrd songs is All I Can Do Is Write About It. Should have mentioned that at Ronnie's grave. All I Can Do Is Write About It. One of my favorite. Searching, it's a great song. Trust. Love the Give Me Back My Bullets album. Billy Powell on the piano. He was crazy. Yeah, just go listen to Sweet Home Alabama. Guy was a genius. So Gary Rossington is actually just buried over here, but yet to have a marker yet. So no marker. We are also paying our respects to who was the final surviving member, Gary Rossington, who broke every bone in his body in the plane crash. His body was full of steel rods and everything holding him together, but still went on carrying the torch and playing Lynyrd Skynyrd shows up until last year, or the year before, and he died of a heart attack. He lived out his life pretty good. So when you hear that Freebird, the slide, the glass slide, that's Gary doing the slide. He was the main lead guitarist till Steve joined for Street Survivors. Yeah. They didn't always need another guitarist. Sometimes they had 3 on the first and second album, I believe. And maybe the third album, Nothing Fancy, as well. That was the one with Saturday Night Special. But sometimes you didn't need more than one guitarist when you had Billy Powell behind you on the piano or a keyboard. Incredible. Just incredible. I love you, Billy. Forever and always. Skynyrd. Rossington lies in this area. The marker will be up soon, I'm told. They were telling me in the office. Most likely is going to be on the other side of the tree here. So he has been buried, but yet to receive a marker, as it is still very fresh. Rest in peace, Gary Rossington, Billy Powell. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Tuesday's gone. Rolled Gypsy Roll is one of my favorites. Give me back. Give me back my bullets. Love when you listen to that smell and it's like, ooh, that smell. And you hear the keyboard, bam, bam. Can't you smell that smell? Bam, bam. They were too good. They were too good. Something bad had to happen, you know, but at least Billy lived out his life to January 28th, 2009. Find Leon Wilkeson just over there, past the Eternal Flame. Billy Powell here, Gary Rossington. He's gonna have a marker here, but he's buried here. Rest in peace, Gary, Leon, and Billy. And I'd like to find Alan Collins' marker, but apparently they keep it private. I could have a little search. Rest in peace, Lynyrd Skynyrd. I wasn't gonna let the rain stop me from doing this today. Even the palm trees and everything still look beautiful. It's where the spirits of Lynyrd Skynyrd live on. Right here. Jacksonville Kids. Well, Jacksonville Kid. It's one of my favorite songs. Working for MCA's. Good tune. Call Me the Breeze. One of my favorites. No one drank more whiskey than Lynyrd Skynyrd. Incredible. Just back here you'll find the Van Zant Memorial bench, and yeah, dedicated to Ronnie. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Ronnie Van Zant's bench here. And sorry for any of the water just past this gate over here. The graves are just over there near the entryway. Not that hard to find here at Riverside Memorial if you're looking for them. This is grave of Lindsay Michelle Van Zant. Cool. We love you, Ronnie. The Tickdom wasn't able to nail down Alan Collins' memorial site, where he's buried. Family likes to keep it private, the lady was telling me, but he died from pneumonia in 1990. He survived the crash, went on with the band. He's one of the other guitarists. You can see them all ripping. Look up Lynyrd Skynyrd's early 70s footage to see everybody I showed rocking together. It's incredible. Walk back up, say bye to Billy, Gary, and Leon one more time. Yep, even in the rain, some of these Spanish moss trees. This is Billy's tree, the tree of Billy Powell. Billy Powell on the piano. God, he was good. God, he was good. I wish I could rip the piano like him. Only one I can name that could do it quite as good as this genius is Weird Al. He can do anything on there. Anything on the keys. But what a huge influence he must have been. And I forgot to point out, look, if you can't tell, the keys, this thing does need to be cleaned off, but full of left pennies. I'm surprised there's no keyboard keys here. Rest in peace to Gary Rossington as well, the longest standing SKYNYRD member. May they all rest in peace. Head back over and say farewell to Leon one more time. Love Leon Wilkeson. Shot, bass guitar there. Yeah, nothing like watching this guy play bass. It's exactly how he would hold it on stage. Fly on, proud bird, you're free at last. Lots of that poison whiskey for you up in heaven, buddy. Nothing hits you like LYNYRD SKYNYRD. Man, sound of the Southland. Dixie Boys. Thanks a lot, everybody. Please like, please subscribe. If you're new here, subscribe and let you know when a new episode goes up. You never know what you may be missing here on the Mr. Thrasher Show, and a definite honor to pay respects to the greatest Southern rock band of our time. I mean, you got the Allman Brothers, so many names to be named, but LYNYRD SKYNYRD is the best of the best. That cannot be disputed. Needle in the spoon. Love the sound of Ronnie's voice on everything. All I can do is write about it. Needle in the spoon, everything from Second Helping. Those first 5 albums, man. Nothing fancy, didn't really do too well, but I still love it. Love it. Love all the first 5 SKYNYRD albums. Didn't really listen to too much after the crash. However, his first 5 albums are a regular staple of my playlist. Own the physical copies of the albums, always have replaced a couple of them, because I would never walk through life without my pronounced LYNYRD SKYNYRD album or Second Helping. Nothing fancy, give me back my bullets. And if you're a true LYNYRD SKYNYRD fan, you own all those albums. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate it. Again, sorry about the rain. I finally got my opportunity to pay respects the Southern legends. LYNYRD SKYNYRD. LYNYRD SKYNYRD. But thanks again if you stayed to the end of the video. I don't know who wouldn't want to see this and stay to the end, but yeah, a lot of stupid people out there. A lot of stupid people. Especially when it comes to music. Glad I took this time to honor and pay tribute to the greats. And now, say I've done it. Thanks again, everybody. Please like, please subscribe. Give it a big thumbs up. Never know what you may be missing here on the Mr. Thrasher Show. Give me 3 steps.
One more drink for a time, you.